It's a Longbox.
So I love this show, M.O.D.O.K. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
So back
I don't have the drop.
That's fine. So back in 2019, it was that and Hit Monkey, which actually did get produced. And then there was supposed to be Howard the Duck, and then all three of them were supposed to be this thing called The Offenders. And this was 2019, and this was when everything had to be redone because of the pandemic and whatnot. So Hit Monkey and M.O.D.O.K were produced. Howard the Duck, whoever was doing it dropped
I think it was
out.
Kevin Smith.
Yes, he dropped out or something. Anyway, M.O.D.O.K is, if you like Robot Chicken and you like Patton Oswalt and you like Marvel Comics, you're gonna fucking love this show because it's hilarious. It's got all of the right comedy, but also all of the right like little tweaks about Marvel like continuity and things.
I think it's really weird and funny that M.O.D.O.K had a whole episode about a concert he had with his wife.
Well, that's it. See, it's actually a really touching sitcom about a family. No, I'm serious, because in that episode, well, I can't tell you, but I've
seen a good portion of it. I haven't seen all of it.
There's only one season, and during the first two episodes, his wife wants to get divorced with him, so she gets divorced with it. They get divorced. She starts dating Wonder Man because she's like a YouTube influencer. It's like her name's Jody, and her whole thing is like Jodify your life, and so they're talking to the rabbi about their kid's bar mitzvah, and they somehow turned all of the language or all of the dialogue into a point where the rabbi herself says, "Silly rabbi, tricks are for kids," because their son wants to do magic tricks at his own bar mitzvah. And that's just some of the great humor you'll hear. And again, they have like they drop, there's an episode where he goes to like the shitty villains bar, and there's like pound cakes and Angar the Screamer and Armadillo and the Melter, like just these shitty F-list villains. And he takes them all to try and break into Avengers Tower to get Captain America's shield. And it's just John Hamm plays Iron Man in the show. It's really fun. Did you just call? Also, I heard you called me a wet bitch. What even is that? He's great because it's John Hamm and he plays the part perfect. Voice
I'm gonna
part.
get that as a drop. Wet bitch.
It's really funny. Like every time he goes up against Iron Man, it's just like, listen, asshole. But M.O.D.O.K is really great because again, it takes a kind of a ridiculous fucking character. He's a Michael Scott type of character. He's completely oblivious to the fact that he is his own worst enemy. Like completely oblivious. Everybody around him is trying to steer him towards like, being a decent fucking normal fucking human being.
Which, I mean,
but
how can you?
He's a fucking
like
giant.
him.
He's a fucking giant head, right?
With little arms,
exactly.
legs.
But again, the fucking deep cuts into Marvel lore are awesome. Patton Oswalt is clearly a comic book fan. His voice is perfect for this role. There's a bunch of different other actors that are in it too. Amy Garcia, Melissa Fumero, who was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Ben Schwartz. Is it Ben Schwartz?
Yeah.
Who was
Sonic?
No, who was he?
Well, I know, but
he was in Parks and Rec. He was what was
John
he?
Ralphio.
Yes. You are the worst. Yeah. Yes. He plays M.O.D.O.K's son, Lou, who like towards the end of the season, he gets a clone of himself, and it's fucking great. Like Arcade from the X-Men comics like kidnaps them at one point. It's really great. I highly recommend it. It's on Hulu the entire season, first season. There's never going to be another one. And I do wish though that Feige would be like, hey, this is an important thing to have in, the MCU, not necessarily in the MCU, but part of Marvel entertainment as a whole, and make another season. Like continue this show because it is really, really good. It raises and answers a lot of stupid questions about superheroes also. So you can kind of have that as like, you know, She-Hulk was kind of a way for Feige and the MCU to be like, hey, fuck you, trolls. M.O.D.O.K can kind of be a way for them to say, oh, you're not sure about this, or you're asking questions about this on Reddit or whatever. Well, M.O.D.O.K did an episode of it, or whatever. Or you're dying to see a fucking episode where Tatterdemalion gets punched in the face. That's something.
So mine, it's a comic book.
Oh, I don't care.
Wow. So dismissive. I told you before we recorded, I had a serious
confession.
I was like Usher. I had a confession.
Oh my God! What a fucking.
But I'm comedy.
Comedy. Thanks. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.